This is what we'll do.
You can always edit it out. I'm just thinking, what? We don't edit
So
these things.
did you want to do it like question by question? We'll just go through it like that.
Yeah, we can just do that for now. And then if we want to, for some reason, if we want to do it again, and, you know.
We can always do that, yeah, for sure. I am down. Okay, so question number 1. I feel like we're on like a talk show or something.
Yeah.
What do you want out of this experience?
Oh, am I first?
Yep, you're first this time.
I want to make an impact. I want to provide an outlet for people to come to and learn and become more confident in what they're doing. And also, like, for myself, like, what I want out of this, like, is to grow as a person and individual. And I feel like putting myself out there like this and putting myself on the spot like right now is going to help me grow, and I want to lead by example, right? So I just want, like, to make an impact in that way, that people can look at this and see, like, where we're coming from, and be able to, like, believe in themselves and be like, hey, like, if they can do it, I can do it. Like, if those nervous girls who are jumping around and not knowing what to say can do it, then me, being an awesome business person already, I can do it. You know, like you don't know where people are coming from or where they've been or how they are. And I feel like this is, like, that's what I want out of it, is to give people the chance to grow and thrive, and just understand that you can start from anywhere. You don't have to start from, like, the top or, like, a certain level. You can start from the bottom, or whatever that means, you know, like, it's different for everyone. And you can start from anywhere. Like, your journey is your journey. So that's what I have to say. Boom.
That's awesome. No, that's actually kind of cool because you answered like question 1 and 2 kind of together, because the next question is like, well, we just put 2 words, what impact, but I'm pretty sure it was like, what impact do you want to make, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, what, even an impact on your own life, really.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of do the same thing where I guess I'll kind of answer 1 and 2 together. So for myself, what I want to gain out of this experience is I want to gain the confidence in being able to actually be a true leader for people, and to become somebody that individuals will look up to. And like, I like to like relate to them on the level of them watching me grow, where I kind of started with knowing absolutely nothing and not knowing what to do, what to say, where to turn, like you mentioned. And just to show them that, you know, you, like, it doesn't matter what level you're at, like, you'll eventually grow and you'll eventually get it, and it'll just eventually click, essentially, which is kind of what happened to me. Is I just kind of like woke up one day and it kind of just clicked in my brain, and it's like, oh, here we go, and this is how it's going to work, and this is how it's going to get done, and this is how we're going to do it. And like for myself, like, I also want to, this is like the first time I've actually taken the reins on something and have actually been as committed as I am. And I'm just super excited to also like see myself and where I can go in the next few months, and to look at myself and to be able to look back and be like, wow, you were worried about those things then, and now here you are, and you're gonna just like, I'm excited to just be able to laugh about those once I'm kind of where I'm at, where I want to be, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of it just for me on on those 2 questions.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
That's right. That's exactly it. Oh, and the next question is, what do you value? So are we going to do like kind of anything? Like, you know.
Man, those are really broad questions.
I know. I was like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, we could value a lot of things. Like, I could value.
I value this plant that's not real right in front of me. But
I value my vision board that I look at every single day.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have made it more specific.
My
Okay, so maybe I was trying to say like what um maybe it was more like what value can we take out of this? Like what
Okay, we'll do that then. Yeah.
however asking that question is kind of like a hard one for me to answer in that form.
Yeah. That's
However, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just do we'll take it as like what value will you take from it? Because then we'll just make it a little bit more opportunity specific.
Yeah, the value that I take from this is personal development, like growth, and just like you said, being able to look back at this like a couple months from now and see how far we've come, and it's really like I'm not saying like this whole thing's like just for us. Like obviously, like the value I want to take from it is like knowing that people are taking value from it too. You know, like they're watching it and they're like, hey, like that resonated with me. Hey, like I actually like learned from these girls and I'm going to take this example and use it for myself. And that's like part of it as well. Like obviously like this is a double-edged sword. Like we are going to take a lot from this personally and independently. However, like that's what I want for the people watching it is to take it as well. I don't know if I got my point across. But can you ask me the question again to get my brain stirring again?
Yeah, no, for sure. So what value are you hoping to take away from this opportunity? And if you've already taken some value, what values are those?
Why do I always have a difficult time with that word value? Would you be able to explain to me what I meant by that?
Well, when I think of the question of like value,
And maybe I just need it worded differently. I don't know.
how I think about it is like, okay, so like what like I'll just do like more of like a specific example is for the masterminds when we do like group masterminds, the live trainings, like all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like you gain value from those training videos? Like do you find that the training that we receive within this community is something of value, and is something that really anybody can learn from, stuff like that?
Like it's rewarding, like
Yeah.
the rewards that you can get from it. I've like even so far by just brainstorming with you, like the value I've gotten and the reward I've gotten from it is knowing that you can put your mind and your mindset towards any sort of goal, and ultimately like the way you're going to achieve it is step by step. And I just feel like a reward every time like we take a step into doing this and into like actually putting a video out there. And I feel like I'm growing as an individual, and I feel like I'm just gaining more confidence in myself and in how I say things and how I present myself. And every time we do this, and a reward that I get from this is knowing that other people are going to see it and hopefully get something from it as well. And ultimately that is like, if I were to go on any sort of tangent, that is like sort of like a goal and a hope and desire that it will. However, like I'm open-minded and I'm super excited, and it's rewarding like in itself to know that we are going for it. Like we are, no matter how difficult it is to get the words out, and I'm talking about myself specifically, their words are in my head and they are going to come out eventually.
They'll start to flow and roll off the tongue a lot easier in a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
How about yourself, Cheyenne?
oh,
What's the value that you've either already gotten or and that you are hoping to get out of this?
so when I okay, so I'll just be straight up. Like
Yeah.
when I first joined up with this community, I was so sketched out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was really skeptical about certain things, and I just from like past experiences of signing up with not like valuable opportunities and stuff like that, like where it was very like there was nothing to learn and there was really no growth involved into it as much as they like to preach it. Like so for me, the one thing that I can say that I value the most and that I get the most value out of within this community is the amount of live training that's done and the amount of training that's done even like on the side with like within own mini groups, like with our group, and then I'm sure there's other groups and everything like that. Like I feel like that is just a super solid community where that actually truly shows that everybody's there for the same reason and everybody's there because everybody wants to see each other succeed and they want to help each other succeed, because if one person's done it, like you will eventually get there. It may not be like today, tomorrow, but like if you keep the consistency going enough that you will eventually start to see things start to happen. And that's the one thing that I noticed fairly quickly with this. Like as much as they said, you know, oh, like this isn't that, like it just depends and everything like that. For me, it was just crazy to see that you could get so many leads in a short period of time, or you can start talking to complete strangers that you didn't even know in such a short period of time and offer them such an amazing opportunity and a product that's actually life-changing and something that's actually so beneficial for you, you know, because since I used to work in healthcare too, like I always used to preach drinking water and stuff, but now that I have this, I can preach drinking Kangen water and just be like, guys, it's the cleanest water ever. Like
Yeah.
it's so great to be able to do that. Like there's just so
Yeah.
much value and there's so much room to be able to grow in so many different aspects that you're always able to develop yourself and grow as a human being. So I think that those are kind of the things that I value the most out of this opportunity. So
Yes.
that's kind of my spiel on that.
Kind of funny because I thought, see, this is where like planning comes in effect, guys. Like I thought I was just talking about this specific mastermind call. I didn't know. So, so it sounds like I'm just copying her, but I do like I find all of that valuable.
Whoops.
That's all right. You know, this is how we learn, right, guys? Like I that's why it was
Preparation.
harder for me because I was like, I do find value in all that stuff, especially like like the masterminds and like the community. Like that stuff is the bomb. Like that is where that is like most of the reason why I joined was because the community is so I'm not gonna swear, so rad. Like, it is so rad. And I'm so excited because ultimately like I just love how the mentality of like we all want each other to succeed. And I've been using this sort of like is analogy the right word, like when you're trying to explain something in like a vision, like you're trying to explain it as like a something that they can imagine.
I don't know that. I mean,
Okay, we need to get a dictionary too.
yeah, I think we'll
Okay,
have that
how
on hand.
this is how I explain it to people or even to myself to get things flowing is we're all like climbing up this mountain together. We're all climbing up this mountain. Some people are higher up, some people are starting at the bottom still. You know, we're all going up together. And ultimately, the way our community is if like for example, I couldn't get over this one ledge and I couldn't like for some reason I just couldn't get my hand up to this one groove and I was gonna fall, someone like there's been so many times that someone's come underneath me and said, get on my shoulders, I'll help you get up. Like that is how I feel about this community. And like there's no feeling of having to compete like in that way. Like there's like the fun like banter here and there, but you know, like we're not ultimately competing in that way to get to the top, because we're all going to get there. And like that to me is valuable. And I'm so glad that I was able to say that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the way that you describe it. Get on my shoulders and I'll lift you up. I love that.
Yeah,
I
I
almost
love
want to
using
feel
that
it,
now.
but I won't.
I love using that now. Oh, you can use it. Pass it on. This is a mountain we're climbing. There's always going to be another mountain, but hey, like, get on my shoulders. I'll get you up there myself. I'll follow you.
I love it.
And they'll follow me. Like we're side by side. We're going up.
It can be our new catchphrase. Get on my shoulders.
Maybe.
I think it'll work.
We'll see what they think too. So
That's very true.
ultimately, it's our decision.
So the next question that we had here, I'll just kind of reword it.
Yeah.
How has this opportunity impacted your life so far?
And we're talking about everything, right?
Yes, not just the webinar. We can be fairly broad with this one.
Yeah, no rules. I'm just kidding. I don't like sounding cliche, but like 100%, I'm like changed, like completely. Like my life is turned around, and oh man, deep breath. I'm not gonna go like delve too much into my story because that can that can take a long time. However, I was so different before joining Jazz. Like I was not the person you see today, and even yesterday I was a little different than I am now. I'm constantly going through all these changes. I'm growing, and in the past I didn't think that I could grow like this. I never believed that I could ever, like I'm being serious, I never believed that I could ever be happy like this. I was always looking for external like forces and people to make me happy, and ultimately always feeling empty. And like that's how it is. Like when you rely on other people and rely on other things to make you happy without having that internal happiness or core confidence in yourself, like it never was filled, right? And having joined this like community and this business and like doing something I ultimately love to do, and I actually look forward to doing this every single day. I wake up, I'm like, I get to I'm not gonna swear, I get to write a post, and I get to write and use my creative writing and jump in front of a video and scare myself every time I pause, because I'm about to swear, but I'm not. I just scare myself every single time, and it makes me feel so alive to be scared like that. And I don't even know if scared is the right word, because people use that word in such a negative way, right? But I shock my body and I shock myself every time, and I've never felt so alive. I don't like using absolutes, but ever since I've joined Jazz and ever since I've become like a part of this community, I've never felt this way before, ever. And I am like, obviously I have days where like I'm just not feeling the greatest or whatever, but I've developed this mindset where I can just decide, okay, I'm going to be happy now. I don't need to feel this way. Yeah, if I have to reflect on it and figure out why I'm feeling that way, then yes, I'll do it. I'll accept it. And I'll just keep going. I'm not going back. like I'm not going to, like, if I fall, I'm falling this way, not that way. And if I fall on my back, I'll look up, because ultimately I'll be able to see where I'm going. I'll see up, and I'll know that the only way is up from there. And I'm just, man, I never thought that life could be so limitless, that the world had so many opportunities for myself and for everyone in it. I always like I thought the world was against me, but like that was just me not taking responsibility for things. That was me just not being aware. And now I am. And now it's like, okay, what am I gonna do next? What am I gonna post next? Like, who am I gonna meet next? It's just it's just amazing. I could talk about it for hours, but I'll let Cheyenne go because she has another fire to add to the. She has more fuel to add to the fire that's going to be going up and up and up and up. Come to our bonfire because it's sick.
It's heated.
It is actually kind of hot in here. My food is like cooking in the background.
Oh, I was gonna say my apartment got suddenly hot. Woo! Damn. All right. Okay, so I'm just gonna adjust myself for this one.
Stand up with me. Get like jump in and go in. I know you have to save your energy.
I know. I'm
stay up late tonight.
grinding stuff out. I'm grinding things out. So for me, how has this impacted my life so far? Well, that's pretty intense because I like much kind of like what Trina said, I very much have grown as an individual. And now that I've gotten to a level where I'm comfortable and more confident in who I am and what I'm doing and what I'm about, I'm now able to like channel that to be able to better focus on the business aspect of things for like making my ads and sending them out and getting them split testing more. Like I've actually like taken away like such an amazing skill to learn for the internet because we're literally on the internet all day, like almost like all day, like literally like a good portion of our day we're all clicking away on Facebook, and it's crazy that you're able to like use that to be able to like send ads out there for people to like contribute or like get involved and be a part of this amazing community. And like the best part for me is like when I start getting people to like that get interested in stuff, I always get super excited. Like I've never had a time where someone's asked me about this opportunity and I've been like, I don't know, I don't really feel like talking to you about it. I'm just like how I would sit there and sometimes act at my 9-to-5 job. I would sit there and I honest to God, I hated it so much. Like someone would ask me a question and I'd be like, I don't know. Like I don't know. Or I just would never really want to answer it, and I was never really as engaged. Whereas now I feel like I finally found something that has created some sense of want and desire and fulfillment within my life, where I've been able to actually grow, which is like the biggest part of it for me, is the growing aspect, and like personal and business and skill and everything. Like that's like I've just done so much just so much growing in the last little while that it's just like that's like the biggest impact that this community has had, is just the amount of growth that I've been able to do in such a short period of time. Like I would have never, like if I would have never been a part of this community, I would have never been the person that I am today, and I would definitely not be talking to you on this level of confidence either. Like I would have been very shy and timid and probably wouldn't have even considered signing up and doing this kind of webinar thing with Trina, where I team up and do this like on a weekly, daily basis. So that's my biggest impact, is growth. That's the word for me, growth.
Yes. We're all trees.
That's right. My roots are going down while my branches are reaching up.
Oh wow. We need to write all this down.
I know, like these one-liners. Oh my God, wait.
Yeah, we're recording it. We're so silly.
I know.
We can
But it's always good to write it down.
That is true. Side note, write everything down. I write everything down. Type everything out.
I write everything, and this is my life book right here.
You can live the life of dreams.
Oh, I'll read it to you. It says, the biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams.
Wow.
And that's by Oprah Winfrey.
That's awesome. I love that lady. She has some good stuff going out there.
Yes.
My face.
Oh, this is an interesting question that I was actually okay, this one got me thinking because I don't even know if I can answer this one, but it's really good. What is one thing that will keep you from doing this?
Oh, well, that question that I asked. I'm the one that wrote these questions, and I'm the one having a great time answering. Ah, I didn't write them to make it easy.
That's okay. I don't mind the challenge. This is probably the most challenging question because I actually have to think of like
um,
like,
I already got my answer. If that's okay.
oh, go ahead. Then that gives me some
Being
time
all
to brainstorm.
eager beaver right now. Just kidding. Us Canadians. Hey. Um. Okay. So the one thing that could potentially was it stop me?
Yeah, that would keep you
Stop
from
me. Like
doing this.
that could keep me from doing this. Like specifically this webinar and mastermind sessions um is myself. It's ultimately sometimes I get in this headspace where I try too hard and I overthink things and I go in planner mode. Like there's nothing wrong with planning. I plan all the time. If you want to see, well, it's kind of too far, but I have this big calendar and I write everything down on it most of the time. I haven't for the past couple of days because I just feel like I've been in this flow. However, when I plan something, I really plan it, and it's a strength, but it's also a weakness because I feel like when I try to do something when I really try to, I don't like that word. Mm-mm. When I plan something and it doesn't go through, or when I tend to overthink things. I tend to get really stressed when things don't work out. When I get into that planner mode, this is what happens. This is what I'm saying is I get overstressed. I overthink things. I become a perfectionist in the way that I want things to go and a certain way. And I have already premeditated expectations, and that can cause things to fail right off the bat, right? When you already have those expectations for it to go a certain way and they don't, you get kind of, it's not a good feeling. And then it kind of affects everything. Then everyone's going like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling these vibes and these vibes are not good, Trina. And then I'm like, oh no, this is awkward. And then it just crashes, right? That's what would get in the way is that planner, that negative side of the planner mind that I have is just all the overthinking and all the trying to be perfect and like just really wanting to get a certain message out and expecting it to work when things can happen like flow. Like I just got to go with the flow more, and that's what I need to keep in mind is things might not always go the way I want it to, and I feel like that if anything that could get in the way of this is me expecting too much or expecting something to happen that might not. So that was the roundabout way of me saying that. However, like it's also a fact about myself, but that's just I plan it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna go around another loop about it.
No, that's good. I really like that answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that. Because the thing when I think about, like, if I was to think about what would keep me from doing this, if you talked to me like 3 weeks ago, I would say video ads, I would say webinars, I would say go live videos, I would say anything to do with me talking in front of a camera, because I never felt like I was confident enough, or like I never felt like I was knowledgeable, like to be doing the webinars really. Like I didn't feel like I knew enough, and I kept on, like, it seemed like anytime I was watching like a live training video or anything like that, they always mentioned um like it's not about how much you know, it's about how much action you take, is like the gist of what they were saying. Like maybe not exactly, but that's kind of the gist of what they were saying. And every time I watched it and every time I went on a live training, I was always like it was constantly there, like saying that to me. So I finally took that into kind of consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And I used that to be like, okay, well, obviously I just need to do it and who cares? And eventually I'll just get it. But if I was to think about now of what would stop me, it would definitely be myself. Like not to copy Trina or anything, but like ultimately at the end of the day, like the people, like what's gonna keep you from doing it is realistically it's yourself. Like, but for everybody, it's gonna be something different. Like for me, for myself, is that I'm easily distracted. Like I'm someone who I constantly have like a million things on the go and I can never organize. Like I'm like my struggle is like organizing my time into like a set schedule where I can actually be like, okay, so this is what I'm going to take this and I'm going to do this and this is when I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And like my other thing is I need to get myself into like a schedule is what's like it doesn't like necessarily like keep me from doing it. Like I still at least touch on it like every single day. It's just a matter of organizing my time well enough that I actually put in like a solid hour or like a solid 2 hours or like, you know, like a solid amount of time and not just like scatterbrain it all over the place. Like, oh, I'm going to do some here, but then I'm going to go over here and then I'm going to squirrel and go this way. Like that's kind of like what's been not necessarily stopping me, but it's definitely been something that I'm working on so I can better like not let that influence and impact like what I'm trying to do and achieve. So that's my me problem
Wow.
for stopping myself.
You guys, this just shows like Cheyenne and I are still getting to know each other, right? We only met like a week ago. No, 4 days ago.
Yeah, not even a week ago. About a week ago.
Here we go. We just learned something about each other. We compliment each other. I'm gonna keep you accountable, and she's gonna keep me accountable.
That's right.
And this is, oh man, that gets me excited.
Oh, crack my back. Ready.
Awesome.
All right, that was the last question.
Man.
Ah, that was so exciting. I'm so glad we did this. All right, but we're gonna say bye now, guys. We're gonna stop this recording, and hopefully that you guys gained something from this, whether it was something that we said, or maybe you're thinking you're struggling through something, and what we said maybe helped you. We hope that you took value from this, and we'll see you on our next video.
Yeah, and also like we're still learning about the whole Zoom thing and the different ways we can record, and maybe there's another place we can record this, like pre-record things. If there is, just let us know. Like we're willing to learn, and also we're hoping that soon enough, you know, we're gonna do a live, like make this live, and we'll plan ahead, like try and make it so it's not conflicting with any of the other masterminds and the other amazing training that we're getting, because there's so much value in that, guys, so much. And so we're going to let you guys know like at least 2 or 3 days in advance, and then remind you either every single day or like at least 3 days in advance, and then a couple like the morning of or the 4 hours before we actually go live, because well, when we go live we want someone to be there. And like, you know, it'd be cool to hang out with you guys, and like you guys like hopefully take something from this and find value in it, and if not, just hang out with some really cool chicks, you know. So that's what I have to say.
I mean, our first Zoom was pretty awesome, and I like the fact that it brings us together to be able to engage on and like brainstorm and like talk each other through certain things on a live basis, which is the coolest part of it, is what I really loved. Like I think our first live was a success. I really enjoyed it. It was awesome.
And in time, like we'll have more of a schedule or a structure, and you know, sometimes it's gonna be go with the flow, because ultimately, with us, like us combined, that's what we are. That's who we are. We're go with the flow, and then we're
Let's get down to business.
So, thank you so much for watching this, taking the time to even look at it, and I'm always grateful for anyone and everyone who is willing to take the time to watch something that I do or that Cheyenne does. It really means a lot, and that alone makes me feel valuable and gives me value and is a reward in itself. So I hope you guys have a great morning, a great night, a great afternoon.
Whatever time it is where you are.
Sure, none of you are in space. However, if you are, have a great universe.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next time.
Peace.